Wow, yeah, the road is much more slick than it was coming in. I'm guessing it's starting to freeze over on top. I'm sliding around all over the place. What is up, guys? It's been a while. I wish I could say that I'm heading out for a backpacking trip, but I'm really not. I'm doing more of a car camping trip here. I got a new truck, so I've been trying to get it out more. I was kind of on some back roads and stuff. I'm just going to go to old NC 105 in Linville Gorge today, and then find a spot to camp somewhere off the side of the road there. It's going to be cold. Highs in the low 20s, maybe a 40% chance of snow, and then lows are going to be close to single digits. Bracken and I actually did kind of a off-roading, overlanding, 4x4, whatever you want to call it, trip last month around the Linville Gorge and Wilson's Creek area. And we camped on 105, and I'd filmed a little bit of it, but I just didn't, I wasn't really getting the camera out enough. I didn't have enough to actually get a video together, so hopefully that won't be the case today. I'm really hoping it's not too windy up there, because with the temperatures where they're at, the wind chill is going to be brutal. But I did bring plenty of firewood, some good food. I won't be eating backpacking food this trip. I've got, steak and mashed potatoes, baked beans, stuff like that. So it should be a good time. The plan is to hang in the hammock, although I have the tent as well. I don't have a rooftop tent for the back of the truck yet. I got a new Tacoma. I'll show you that in camp. Not that you really care, but I've done some significant modifications to it, so I've been enjoying that. And I'm looking forward just to get some time out in the woods, solo style. So I'll check back in when we get to 105. All right, we're approaching the gravel portion of NC 105 here in a minute. A little bit of snow on the ground here still. I forgot to mention we had some significant snow move through this area last weekend actually. I wanted to get out and play around in it, but the winds were just whipping it like 40 miles an hour, so didn't really sound fun to try to camp in that. So I'll be curious to see what's left on 105. I think it's still pretty snow covered from what I've seen online and elsewhere, but we're about to find out. All right, I was just about to say no snow on the ground, but as you can see, it's still covered, especially in the shady spots, I think, is what's happening there. All right, nice view of Short Off. Always have to stop here and get a photo. This Wolf Pit West road's closed. We'll look at the Tacoma. I'll do a walk around in camp, but I've really been enjoying it so far. Definitely seen a lot more snow the further north I get. I'm just hoping it's not frozen over, since we're not getting above freezing today. I don't really feel like sliding off the road. I do have a winch, some other recovery gear, so I'm not that worried about it, but it seems okay. Quite a bit of snow on the road through this section past Pinnacle. Really, at this point, I'm just looking for a campsite. I'm debating on trying to find one with a view and risk the wind, or find one that's a little more sheltered, but yeah, this road is still completely covered in snow now that I've gotten further in here. debating on camping right here. This campsite's known as Birthday Camp. Maybe I'll drive up a little bit more and then I might come back to that. All right, I've turned around, heading back to that other campsite. I think that's gonna be my best bet. And the roads are getting pretty rough back that way. Just being out here alone, I figure might as well play it safe. I have not seen a single other car yet, which is very unusual on a Friday on NC 105. So I guess maybe the snow is keeping some folks at home and the cold temps. All right, this is gonna be home for the night. It's cold. Definitely a good place to hang. Lots of choices though. All right, I'm gonna get set up because I'm getting cold already. Right, I'm using the Warbonnet Blackbird XLC as usual for my hammock. I got my 0 degree quilts with me, the Yeti underquilt and the Mamba top quilt, mini fly tarp, and I brought the underquilt protector as well. I'm probably gonna throw in there in case it gets windy. Tell you what, I'm gonna get a fire started pretty quickly here because it's cold. Here's a look at the hammock all set up. I got the beaks closing the head end. Underquilt protector in there and the tarp fits down pretty tight. I got to dig that fire pit out a little bit. Well, I think it's safe to say that the cooler is not really needed to keep my beer cold and my steak. Or just stick these in the snow, maybe. I realized that I left my grill grate at home that I was planning on cooking my steak with. So I'm gonna have to get creative. All right, got my firewood ready. Fire pit dug out a little bit. I'm gonna set my chair up, maybe have a beer, just enjoy this winter camping experience. It's no shame in my game. I brought all my wood in and I even brought fire starters, so hopefully this shouldn't be too difficult. Too easy. I love it. Just a closer look at the new truck here. It's a 2022 Tacoma TRD Off-Road. I've got lifted about 3.5 inches with a rough country suspension, some 17-inch KMC wheels, some 33-inch ridge grappler tires. Put the roof rack on there as well as the bed rack. Light bar from Heretic Studios. Replaced the grill. This had the off-road grill. I switched to a TRD Pro style and bought those lights as well. Swapped out the fog lights with some Heretic Studio ambers. Got an amber light bar in the custom bumper that I replaced the stock with, and a worn winch. I've also installed some skid plates. Can't really see from RCI. Still waiting on my rock sliders. I still got the Predator steps on this. But with COVID and stuff, I guess it's taken forever for the rock sliders to get here. This tire swing out is from a company called Rigid Armor out of California. It's kind of neat. It's got a spot for my high lift and a little fold out table. And then I guess the tonneau cover. Not that you care, but that's what I've done to it so far, and I'm loving it. Cheers, guys. Oh, sink right into the snow. Man, this fire feels good. It's cold. I had to throw another layer on. My toes were hurting. They were so cold. They're starting to warm up now, though. I'm going to try to make a little skewer out of this green piece of wood for my steak. If it drops in the fire, it drops in the fire, but I'm going to try it. It's cold. I think it's about, it's below 20 now. It's a little bit breezy, which just makes it feel that much colder. I mean, I'm fine by the fire. I just hope the firewood that I brought lasts me as long as I was hoping it would, because it's going to get dark here probably in about an hour. I'd like to be able to make it to at least 7 before I crawl into the hammock, because I know if I go to bed too early, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and not be able to fall back asleep. I did download some movies and things like that on my phone that I can watch in the hammock if I have to crawl in early, but man, it is pretty deserted out here. I've only seen 2 Jeeps since I've been up here, which is pretty wild. If you've been on 105 before, you know how crowded it can get on the weekends. So I thought there'd be a lot more guys with overlanding rigs wanting to get out here and be coming up and down this, but so far not really. So it's been nice though. Nice change of pace. All right, I'm gonna start prepping dinner here. As I mentioned, I have a steak. Brought some salt and pepper to season it with. We've got mashed potatoes and baked beans as well. And then if something goes wrong with the steak and I lose it in the fire, I'll just have some ramen instead, I guess. But I'm gonna go ahead and season this thing and then start cooking it. Really want to touch the meat, but I kind of have to. Just not trying to smell like a steak or a bear. I think I'll be all right though. All right, so I think I'm gonna cook the steak first, and if I'm, depending on how that goes, if I'm still hungry, I'll probably do the loaded mashed potatoes and maybe the baked beans. The steak is actually pretty big, bigger than I actually realized, so that might be more than enough to fill me up for dinner, but we'll see. All right, let's give this a shot and see what happens. All right, I have no idea if this thing's done or not. I'm gonna cut into it and see what it looks like. Well, the steak didn't work out so well. I couldn't really get it to cook, so I tried to cut it up into small pieces and cook them individually. Worked for a couple of them, and the rest fell into the fire, so I'll definitely probably be doing some ramen here soon. I'm just trying to warm my toes up now. They're frozen solid without melting my shoes again. All right, I'm gonna try to cook these baked beans in the fire in the can. I tried this last trip with bracken, which I didn't film and didn't work so good, but I'm gonna give it another shot. And then I'm gonna make some ramen. I think that should do me. And I'll use these little mini pliers that I always bring to pull that thing out when I think it's done. Went ahead and warmed that canister up in my down jacket pocket with a hand warmer, so hopefully it'll work okay. These things are notorious. I know they say 4 season, but when it's really cold out, man, they just like to spit liquid at you. Let's see. All right. Good. Here, what do I do with my lighter? All right. Ramen, I actually usually just put the ramen in even before the water started to boil. Just break it up and drop it in. Like so. Seasoning packet. Trash the fire. Backpacking spoon, stir it up a little bit. Yeah, and then I'll put the lid on, let it come to a boil, and then I'll put it back in the homemade koozie that I have with Reflectix. Let it kind of steep. Beans can't really tell what they're doing. The stove sounds like it's struggling a little bit. Yeah, I think the cold weather is definitely affecting my little pocket rocket stove here. It's not burning as hot as it usually does, but it's going to get the job done. It's just going to take a little longer. No big deal. Looks like the beans are starting to boil. That's good. Need to give them a quick turn. Oh, that fire's hot. Wow. Holy cow. I think those are done. I'm gonna pour them into this other pot that I brought. All right, I got the ramen steeping. I'm eating the baked beans now. Enjoying the heat from this fire. Pretty good dinner. Ramen is looking good. I'll eat this now because I'm running low on firewood. I wish I would have brought another bundle with me. Because once this fire's gone, I'm gonna have to get in the quilt. It's just too cold out here. All right, I'm gonna do a little exploring here on 105 at night, just to try to kind of test out some of the lights that I have on the truck. Haven't really got to put them to use yet, so I'm gonna try that. It's starting to snow a little bit too, so it's beautiful out here. All right, guys, I'm gonna explore 105 here a little bit. My phone is almost dead. I'm gonna charge it while I'm in the car here, but I don't know how much filming I'll be able to do after this. I brought that giant Duracell portable battery, but I hadn't charged it in months, and I guess it was pretty much dead. I guess it was pretty much dead from the get-go, so this might be it as far as filming for this trip goes. But to be honest, I was planning on just waking up and leaving tomorrow anyway. I wasn't gonna do breakfast or anything like that because it's gonna be so cold, so there really wouldn't have been much more footage, as it were. So as always, thanks for watching. I know this is a short one, my typical backpacking trip, but I had a blast and can't wait to get back out here.